A Raisin in the Sun is a book that was turned into a play. The name was taken from a line in Langston Hughes' poem, Montage of a Dream Deferred. It asks the question, what happens when a dream is deferred? Does it just dry up like a raisin? The scene takes place in the younger, small, rundown apartment in Chicago's South Side. It is set in 1959. The furnishings show that someone a long time ago took a lot of care in picking things out, but is now worn and used. The apartment has 2 bedrooms, one for Mama and Benita, one for Walter and Ruth. Their son Travis sleeps on the couch. There is only one window in their small kitchen. Mama is sitting at the kitchen table talking to Ruth as she is ironing. Mama expresses concern for Ruth because she looks worn out. Mama tells Ruth, "Girl, you better start eating and looking after yourself better. You almost thin as Travis." Mama wants Ruth to take care of herself because Ruth is pregnant and she needs to take care of her family. Ruth questions Mama about what she plans on doing with a check she is going to get for $10,000. She mentions to Mama that Walter is unhappy and he wants to invest in a liquor store. Ruth tells Mama, "Something is happening to Walter and me. I don't know what it is, but he needs something I can't give him anymore. He needs this chance, Lena." Mama does not think the liquor business is morally right and tells Lena so. "And I don't want that on my ledger this late in life." Mama has strong morals and believes the family should always show respect for themselves. Mama tells Ruth that she should stay home from work and rest, but Ruth can't afford to. Mama tells her to call her boss and tell her she has the flu. They know about the flu, otherwise they think you've been cut up or something when you tell them you're sick. People were still very judgmental and prejudiced in 1959. When Ruth tells Mama that she has to work for the money, Mama reminds Ruth that they are not that poor. "Somebody would have thought my children done all but starved to death, the way they talked about money here of late." Mama feels Walter is too concerned with money. Mama and Ruth talk about what she plans to do with the money. Mama told Ruth some of it got to be put away for Benita and her schooling, and nothing ain't got to touch that part of it. She shared her biggest dream with Ruth. "Been thinking that we maybe could meet the notes on a little old 2-story somewhere, with a yard where Travis could play." Ruth tries to hide her excitement at the thought of having a bigger house when she tells Mama, "Well, Lord knows we've put enough rent into this here rat trap to pay for 4 houses by now." Their conversation shows how important dreams are to people. Mama tells how her and her husband had bigger plans and dreams for themselves. "Me and Big Walter moved in here. Haven't been but 2 weeks and wasn't planning on living here no more than a year." Mama expresses to Ruth how her and Walter's dream did not come true. "You should know all the dreams I had about buying that house and fixing it up and making me a little garden in the back, and none of it happen. It is important that Mama has kept her dream alive and can use some of the check to make it happen." Ruth acknowledges Mama. Yes, life can be a barrel of disappointment sometimes. Ruth tries to be content in her life, but is often disappointed in Walter and their financial situation. Mama uses her past to show how important life can be. "When I lost that baby, little Claude, I almost thought I was going to lose Big Walter too." Ruth had thought about an abortion, and Mama was still a little disappointed in Ruth. Mama recalled how hard-headed and mean her husband could be, and tells him he wanted his kids to have something, and that's where her son must have got his notions and big dreams. She quotes from Big Walter, "Seems like God didn't fit to give the black man nothing but dreams, but he did give us children to make them dreams seem worthwhile." This line shows how Mama and Walter believed in dreams, and it kept them from giving up. They knew they had to keep going to take care of their kids and hope that even if their dreams did not come true, maybe their kids' dreams could. The scene is important to the whole story as it gives background to the family. It tells how everyone in the family has their own dreams and how they want to try and make it happen. It shows how the times make them struggle and the hardships they have against them. The scene's thought, Raisin in the Sun, will depict a family struggling through life, often making mistakes. It will show how Mama's dream can come true and some hard-learned life lessons. My name is Ruth Younger, and I am married to Walter. Walter and I have a son, Travis. We live with my mother-in-law, Lena, and sister-in-law, Benita. I love everyone dearly, but it's hard to live with your in-laws. Sometimes I get frustrated with Mama for interfering with how I raise my son. I worry about my husband and our relationship. He has changed, and I think he needs a chance to be something more. I work hard at my job, and I grow tired as I am with child. I did not know if I wanted to keep this baby. I am not sure Walter is ready for another one, and our finances are so poor. I know I disappointed Mama, and I have decided to keep this child. Life for my family is hard and sometimes disappointing. My sister-in-law, Benita, can be frustrating. She doesn't help out enough with the cleaning, and she can have a fresh mouth. The apartment we live in is run down, and our neighborhood is poor. For the most part, I am content with life, but I feel my husband is not. I'm content because I have to be. I have to stay strong for my family.
My name is Lena, but most folks call me Mama. I have a son, Walter, and a daughter, Benita. I am head of the house now that my husband, Big Walter, passed on. I am a caring mother that wants to help my family any way that I can. I suppose that is why I let my kids, my daughter-in-law Ruth and grandson Travis, live with me in my small, rundown, two-bedroom apartment. I may be poor, but I can't tolerate filth, and I expect my family to respect themselves and their dreams. I believe people can succeed and still live within their morals. Benita is special to me, but sometimes that child's unchristian attitude towards God upsets me so. I do wish she would settle down, and I want her to go to school. That daughter-in-law of mine thought about an abortion, and I was very disappointed in her. I lost a baby once, and it broke me. Even Walter came to me wanting to invest money in a liquor store. I do not participate in such unchristian things. I will be getting a check for $10,000, but it's still just money. Dreams mean more than money, and it is my dream to own my own house with a garden for little Travis to play. I try and remind Walter that all I ever wanted for my kids was to be happy and to provide for them. Sometimes I feel as though I have lost touch with my children. What was they fighting about?
Now you know as well as I do.
Brother still worrying himself sick about that money?
You know he is.
You had breakfast?
Some coffee.
Girl, you better start eating and looking after yourself better. You're almost as thin as Travis.
Lena,
Uh-huh.
what are you going to do with it?
Now, don't you start, child. It's too early in the morning to be talking about money. It ain't Christian.
It's just that he got his heart set on that store.
You mean that liquor store that Willie Harris wants him to invest in?
Yes.
We ain't no business people, Ruth. We just plain working folks.
Ain't nobody biz people till they go into business, Walter. We say black people ain't never going to start getting ahead till they start gambling on some different kinds of things in the world, investments and things.
What done got into you, girl? Walter Lee done finally sold you on investing?
No, Mama, something's happening between Walter and me. I don't know what it is, but he needs something. Something I can't give him anymore. He needs his chance, Lena.
But liquor, honey.
Well, like Walter say, I expect people are going to always be drinking themselves some liquor.
Well, whether they drinks it or not ain't none of my business. Whether I go into business selling it to them is, and I don't want that on my ledger this late in life. Ruth Younger, what's the matter with you today? You look like you'd fall over right there.
I'm tired.
Then you better stay home from work today.
I can't stay home. She'd be calling out things and screaming, "My girl didn't come in today. Send me somebody, my girl didn't come in today." Oh, she just have a fit.
Well, let her have it. Let us call her up and say you got the flu.
Why the flu?
Because it sounds respectable to them. Something white people get too. They know about the flu. Otherwise, they think you've been cut up or something when you tell them you sick.
I got to go in today. We need the money.
Somebody would have thought my children done all but starved today, the way they talk about money here late. Child, we have a great big old check coming tomorrow.
Now that's your money. It ain't got nothing to do with me. We all feel that like that. Walter and Benny and me, even Travis.
$10,000.
Sure is wonderful.
$10,000.
You know what you should do, Miss Lena? You should take yourself a trip somewhere. To Europe or South America or someplace.
Oh, child.
I'm serious. Just pack up and leave. Go on and enjoy yourself. Some forget about the family and have yourself a ball for once in your life.
You sound like I'm just about ready to die. Who'd go with me? What I look like wandering around Europe all by myself.
Shoot, these here rich white women do it all the time. They don't think nothing of packing up their suitcases and piling on one of them big steamboats and swoosh, they gone, child.
Something's always told me I wasn't no rich white woman.
Well, what are you going to do with it then?
I ain't rightly decided. Some of it got to be put away for Benitha and her school, and ain't nothing going to touch the part of it. Nothing. Been thinking that we maybe could meet the notes on a little old two-story somewhere, with a yard where Travis could play in the summertime if we use part of the insurance for a down payment, and everybody kind of pitch in. I could maybe even take a little bit of work, a few days a week.
Well, Lord knows we put enough rent into this here rat trap to pay for 4 houses by now.
Rat trap, yes, that's all it is. I remember just as well as the day. I remember just as well the day me and your mother moved in here.
Yes, life can be a barrel of disappointment sometimes.
I guess that's how come that man finally worked himself to death like he done. Like he was fighting his own war with his leader world legend.
Okay. Ain't nothing can tear at you like losing your baby.
I guess that's how come he finally worked himself to death like he done.
I quit.
Like he's fighting the war with this here world that took his baby from him.
He sure was a fine man, all right. I always liked Mr. Younger.
Crazy about his children. God knows there was plenty wrong with Walter Youngin. He hard-headed, mean, kind of wild with women. Plenty wrong with him. But he sure loved his children. Always wanted them to have something, be something. That's where brother gets all these emotions, I guess. Big Walter used to say he'd get right wet in the eye sometimes, lean his head back, and with the water standing in his eyes and say, seemed like God didn't see fit to give the black man nothing but dreams, but he did give us children to make them dreams seem worthwhile. He could talk like that, don't you know?
Yes, he sure could. He was a good man, Mr. Younger.
Yes, a fine man, just couldn't never catch up with his dreams, that's all.